Hey, it's Clay at claycharter.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, October 6th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will still be moving around, and the candlestick you see will be moving around. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, TOPS, did this in yesterday's analysis video. And so this will mean a little bit more, but for those of you that were watching that bull pennant pattern, congratulations, got the breakout right there, and the rest is history. Just a huge, huge breakout. So again, for any of you that watched that video and took that pattern breakout, I'm sure you're having a very good day today. But let's go ahead and get these lines out of here as they've served their purpose for now. And now it's almost a case of deja vu because we're essentially right back to where we started, meaning we have a new pattern that has formed. And this new pattern that has formed is going to be based off of this trend line right here, which shows that, yeah, the price has pulled back, but at the same time as that pullback, there's also an area. Let me just make this a little bit more proportionate. There we go. That is showing an uptrending trend line right there. So let me change that to green to represent more so the bullish dynamic of the pattern, and then make this a little bit easier to see. Let's make it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move up like that, we have our golf hole down here. And as I mentioned, in a case of deja vu, we are once again with a bull pennant pattern. And yeah, that's how trends are built. There can be multiple bull pennants, bull flags, all within an uptrend, and that's what we have right here. So does that mean that if the price breaks up here, it's going to do the same exact thing? No, of course not. There are no guarantees. But is it plausible? Is it rational to think that if the price can get a high volume break of that pattern right there, it could create another surge of momentum? That's absolutely a valid thought process to have. Next one, PEGY, and I like this one a whole lot because of the ability to do this right here. And let me be very clear. Me drawing that trend line right there, which puts the price up at that red line around $3, does not take skill. It's not a special, or it's not like a great discovery on my part. I assure you a lot of people have done that. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. When levels like that are broken, it can create good, solid upwards momentum. So as I just said previously, there are no guarantees, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price can return back up to that $3 mark and then get the push up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a more than valid thought process to have. So keep an eye on that as a resistance standpoint. And then as far as supports are concerned, you have this area of support down here to watch. So I'll change that to green to represent more so the bullish dynamic. And then once again, we have ourselves a good solid pattern here. Resistance, support, big move up, golf hole down here, another bull pennant pattern with $3 being that key breakout point. Next one, KITT, and I put this one in a very strategic place because same exact thing. So I'm not going to sit here and repeat myself. I don't want to waste your time. So we have our resistance, we have the support right there, and I will change that to green just so we can keep some things relatively consistent in the coloring. And then we have our resistance, or if you want to call that the self-fulfilling prophecy point, however you can best visualize that. We have our support, we have the big momentum move up here, we have the golf hole down here, and we have ourselves another, say it with me, bull pennant pattern. So if you like to play bull pennants, you're getting a good variety of them right now. So definitely keep an eye on it. Very, very nice looking pattern here. Next one, FNGR, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you have, hopefully remember me talking about that resistance line right there, which you can see was a big problem area, but today finally broke up through there and got the nice move. So again, congratulations to anybody that played that breakout, but now that these levels have been cleared, we'll get rid of those out of there so they don't create clutter and confusion, and get some new levels updated here. So as of now, very, very strong day. And what I'm curious about now is this dynamic here. We have our resistance trend line right there. And we also have a pattern such as there, which suggests a rising wedge pattern, which is actually a bearish pattern. Now, when I say bearish, that does not mean, oh, it's going to crash all the way back down here. But do I think that there's going to be some sort of pullback? Yeah, I think there's going to be a pullback. You got the rising wedge. And no, I should be clear. Just because something's a bearish pattern doesn't mean that the price is for sure going to go down. Just the same as if there's a bullish pattern does not mean that the price is going to go up. But if I were put into a corner and said, hey, Clay, what's going to happen here? I'm saying there's going to be a pullback here, which brings about, okay, well, where are some pullback areas at? And first interesting pullback area going to be down here right around that $7 mark. So if the price does pull back, gets to $7, that could present a very interesting dynamic here. So yeah, as far as kind of summarizing this one, rising wedge pattern, which is bearish. So I would expect to see some sort of pullback. Next one, AMC, a big pullback here, but to be fair and all in all, the trend is still up. And the reason why I say the trend is still up is, well, let's look at where the lows were from today, right down there at 704. And then let's match those up with previous lows. So again, we have a low right here. And then the last time, or the previous low was actually down here. And if you envision each of those as stair steps, what do you still have? Well, from the big picture, there's still progress being made in the upwards direction. Now, there is a bit of perspective that goes into this, meaning if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you were buying right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well, then yes, from that perspective, the chart looks really, really bad. But assuming you do care about more so the bigger picture point of view, even with the bigger pullback here, the price is still showing some signs of progress, which is, a step in the right direction. Now, if the price comes down here and just blasts down through and goes right back to these lows right there, well, then at that point, it's looking bad for everybody. But as of now, the price has put in that higher low. It is showing signs of progress. So yes, there's more work that needs to be done, but from a bigger picture point of view, the price is still currently drifting upwards. Real quickly, I wanted to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency as a trader, then I want you to get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage. So yeah, definitely get signed up, especially if you want to learn more about this tool and build consistency as a trader. Next one, ticker symbol CEI, a penny stock here, and this is a very popular stock over the past couple of years. It's made some very, very big moves. So it's always one that I'm keeping an eye on, because when the volume starts to creep in, does that guarantee anything? Of course not. But does it make it valid to, okay, let's at least keep an eye on it? And yeah, absolutely. And you can see here, is volume absolutely gigantic? No, but it's definitely above average. You have a nice move for it. And sometimes that's what a watch list, it's as simple as that. To find unique, to find interesting situation, and not randomly rush out and buy anything, but to watch it and see how the price behaves or continues to behave, and see if it fits in a way that ultimately fits into your personal risk tolerance and strategy. So if you like to play penny stocks, if you like to play penny stocks that are starting to wake up, or I should say potentially starting to wake up, keep an eye on this one. Got a very nice break today. The price came up there to that pink line, the 200 period moving average. Got the break of it. You can see back tested it and is now working its way upwards. So as far as next potential areas of resistance are concerned, next key battleground to watch very closely, going to be right up here at the 25-cent mark, so keep an eye on that. But overall, like I said, and this maybe does a better job of illustrating it, big volume here compared to what's been usually going on, so we'll see if this is indeed the start of something bigger. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and overall, you got to give credit where credit's due. So yes, there's been a nice upwards channel here that has formed essentially all day long. However, and don't get me wrong, that is a good dynamic, but you got to factor in additional context. And additional context is, well, what happened before this upwards channel? Well, there is this big downwards move right here. So in all actuality, this is a bear flag pattern. As I mentioned earlier, just because something's bearish does not mean that for sure guaranteed the price is going down. But my point here is just to be a little skeptical. Don't be a little excited, because yeah, sure, no doubt about it. That's a nice move here. But is this a truly strong move? Does this have genuine strength? That's where the skepticism needs to come into play, because it is just a textbook pattern here of a bear flag. So would it be shocking to anybody to have the price come back down? No, I don't think that would catch anybody off guard. Once again, does not mean that it's going to happen, but definitely just keep that in mind that yes, you have the upwards channel, but that has all it's done is help create a bear flag pattern. Now, if the price does continue on up, the next key overarching level to watch very closely from a resistance standpoint is going to be that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, all in all, as far as the flag is concerned, really it's all about that trend line right there. So let's see if the price can stay above it or not. Next one, AMD, which got the breakout here. Breakout of what? Well, great question. And this will mean a bit more to those that watched the previous videos, but talked about this resistance trend line here. And actually, to be fair, got the breakout earlier. Previously came down today. Not a good day, but just really, let me take a step back. Not a good start to the day, but then just shows how good of a recovery it was, because not only did the price recover back up to that trend line, it just broke through it and kept on going further and further. So it really just goes to show how strong of a day it actually was when, you consider all those dynamics. But I'm going to get rid of those, because now the newest level that you got to think a lot of people are watching, and rightfully so, is the top part of this upwards channel. Oops, let's get that out of the way. which sits right here at 69.25. Generally speaking, you can see that whenever the price has been up around this general area, it has presented problems. So everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching that level. But you do want to be careful, because just because the price breaks through that level, not that far away, you do have the 200 period moving average, looming up above, which could very realistically provide resistance. So like I said, breaking up through that level right there, very, very good step in the right direction. But if it can get through that level and the 200 period moving average, that would just be that much more of a signal of power. Next, AAPL Apple, and got the breakout here. So once again, just like AMD, so I don't want to really go through into it too much, but you can see started off very rough on the day, gap down, price came all the way down here, but then not only did the price recover back up to the breakout point, it just continued up through the breakout point and is now looking very, very good. So very, very similar pattern to AMD there. And now get some levels updated here. Oh, I just noticed this. So where does the price stand in regards to this level right here? Oh, interesting. Did not notice that until now. So the price is actually already broken up through that very significant level of resistance, which brings about a very valid and very interesting question. And remember, that's what a watch list is all about, finding those interesting and unique situations. So the breakout has happened. So the question becomes, is this start of a much bigger breakout? To be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing just fizzles right back down. But that is a two-sided coin, because, well, maybe it is. And if that's the case, well, then who knows how much further this breakout could go. But also, like AMD, keep an eye on the pink line up there, which is still quite a bit of ways away. So there's still plenty of wiggle room there to potentially scalp out some gains depending on your strategy. But that value is at 149.27 there. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, I actually did not notice that. So the breakout has already occurred, which transitions everything to the question of, okay, is this the start of a much bigger breakout on Apple? Let's see what happens. And then TQQQ, this is not a stock, it's an ETF that allows you to make money if the NASDAQ market goes up. So if the QQQ goes up, which is a lot more expensive, this is just a cheaper way to get involved with that. And you can see that we have ourselves, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from yesterday, but I talked about that resistance trend line right there. Then I also talked about the pink line, the 200 period moving average. And you can see that the price is actually slightly above both of those. And I'm not going to go and repeat myself, but we now have an Apple situation, meaning we can throw out that big, very, very popular question, ask, hey, is this the start of an even bigger breakout? Sure, it could fizzle, but as I mentioned, it is a two-sided coin. So who knows? Maybe this is the start of something much bigger, and the price keeps ripping and roaring here because, yes, both of those areas of resistance have been broken. So we now just have not a question of, okay, can this thing break out? Is there enough strength to break out? No. Those questions have been answered. There has been enough strength to break out, but now is this strength going to maintain itself and build upon itself to create that much more upside continuation and momentum? We'll have to see how it all unfolds over the next couple of days. But yes, very, very interesting dynamic here in TQQQ, which is a very popular ETF that traders I know are into. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency, then as I mentioned, I have a live training coming very soon, Thursday, October 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So get signed up and I'll see you there. If you enjoy these top 10 videos, do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one.